So welcome everyone for another week of group training from the Super Confident Coaches Group. I'm delighted to have all of you here again. And I know that for some of you who can't make it, they will come back and watch this replay again, knowing that I have my special guest, Peter, here to actually share with us his wisdom. Peter, please introduce yourself to some of our new people here.
Hello, everybody. My name is Peter Beckett. I'm an Aussie, but I've been living in Thailand for too many years, 23 years, okay? Originally from New South Wales. I went to school in Tamworth. And today I want to talk to you about organic marketing, a way to make some money with social media without spending any money on advertising. That's what I'm on about today. All right, so if that's of interest to you, hopefully what I've got to share with you may earn you a few dollars. And that's the plan of today. And to do that, I'm going to do a presentation. So if you don't mind, Martha, I'll share my screen. All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter.
I love what you just shared. The idea of how to be happy with your work is really an underlying theme of what I want to talk about today, because I want to talk about organic marketing on social media and the fact that if you're not making any money, then you're not going to be very happy anyway, right? And if you're not getting any fulfillment or happiness, then what's the point? So I thought I'd just share with you some thoughts today. And one of the key things you just mentioned, Martha, was let your ideal client see you, right? I think that was really clever. But the challenge is this: let the ideal client find you. And I want to share that challenge you've got right now. Let me share my screen. Personalized organic marketing. My name is Peter Beckett. I'm the Village Marketer. And today I want to share with you some ideas about how you can possibly do better using social media without using any paid advertising. It all starts with you, because it means a mindset change for some people. It means you've got to get off your butt and do some work. I mean, this doesn't happen overnight. It's not an easy series of strategies they're going to give you, but they work, and they work if you are persistent and consistent. And I'll share with you some thoughts about that in a moment. The key problem is this, that nobody knows you exist, okay? There's 2.5 billion people on Facebook alone. There's 500,000 new users that join Facebook every single day. And if I remember correctly, there's 350,000 pictures, photographs, images every minute. Goodness gracious, no wonder nobody knows exist. Look at all the competition we've got. So the problem is this: the future of your social media marketing is to have a highly personalized strategy. What I mean by that is this: that any content that you create, it's got to be like people seeing it as if they are sitting across the table from you, having a cup of coffee at Starbucks, talking to you about something that's of interest to them. It's got to be conversational, it's got to be meaningful, it's got to be impactful, and it's got to be relevant to them. All right? That's the content you need to create these days. The hi everybody type post is no longer cutting the mustard. Sure, it's nice. Sure, you may get a lot of people who give you a love and a like, etc., and maybe it'll even give you some engagement. But you know what? It doesn't put any money in your bank account. Not a single cent. The key thing is you need to create conversations that are meaningful, impactful, and relevant to your ideal client, not to anybody. So personalized organic marketing requires you to have a goal, to have a plan, and have a strategy. And I don't want to go through that in this particular presentation, but it's important that you have that. The key thing is to focus on your goal, and you need to know your darn audience. That's the important thing. It's really important to do that. When you find yourself losing focus, ask yourself, why? Once you know you can do that, you can improve your strategy, because it's so easy to lose focus. It's so easy to become distracted on social media. It's so easy to spend time just going through the whole lot of junk and getting nowhere. And if you've got the situation when for example, you've created this content, you've worked darn hard to get this right, and you put the post up there and nothing happens, it doesn't make you feel that good, okay? And there are ways to solve that out. I want to share that with you today. Another thing I want you to think about is this. I want you to, every day, to tap into some wisdom, okay? Read a book, listen to an audio, watch a video, do something, watch training like this, whatever it is, do that every day. Form a habit to do that. It's really important you form a habit to do that. And here is the 5-stage customer journey I'm about to take you on. First of all, you need to know who your ideal potential client is, the avatar of that person. Now, I know you've all heard of the avatar, and I'm not going to do that to death, but then you need to know who that is. Then you need to know what their problem or challenge is. Then you know how to address that challenge. And then you should need to know how to surprise and delight them. And once you do that, you can make some money in this business, right? They're the 5 stages that you need to have in mind when you're working with social media, okay? Now, when it comes to avatar, here is a really good site. You can see the link online. And by the way, I've got a PDF with all these links in it if you wish it, okay? Online, videoproductioncompany.co.uk, blah, blah, blah. This is a really good site. And all you need to do is fill in some details and they'll create the avatar for you. And why I'm suggesting is because you can print this out and put it near you, put it near your laptop or your PC or wherever your workspace is. And when you're creating content, create the content for that particular image you've got up there, all right? As I said before, I'll give you that link a little later on. Second, post content that creates emotion. So important, right? You've got to get people not just curious, but reacting to you in a way that the content you post stops people in the news feed. You have so much competition these days, you need to come up with something that grabs people's attention. They think, oh my God, I wonder what Gal's talking about there. I better check that out. That's the sort of reaction you need to get from the content you're creating, all right, and you're posting. But to do that, you need to know what your customers really want. Okay, you need to know that. And this is one of the keys for organic marketing, because you need to know what the problem is or the challenge that they have, and then you help them solve that particular problem. But the thing is this, do you know what their problem is? When you're talking to someone for the first time, right, I can tell you the problem they share with you is not their real problem. It's just a surface thing. They're not sharing it with you because you haven't earned the right yet. You need to build a relationship with them by creating content that is conversational, impactful, meaningful, and relevant to them, so then you can go deep with them and ask questions that uncover what the real problems is that you can solve for them. Once you know what the real problems are, then you can create the content that's going to stop people in the news feed. Now, the thing is, if you don't know what the problems are, if you don't know much about your potential client, if you don't know that, then you're going to waste a heck of a lot of time. And that's one of the greatest challenges facing marketers on social media right now. They spend hours and hours creating posts, putting posts on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever it is, right? And they're not getting their bang for their buck, okay? Because they are not addressing their ideal customer. Think about it this way. If you went into a rock concert at Sydney Stadium, right, and there's 100,000 people there, right, and you're looking for one person, that would be almost impossible, right, compared if you went into a village hall where there's 50 people. So the point is this, you need to be able to break down the audience you're looking for so that it's much easier to find the person that you want. And going into a Sydney Stadium to find one person is impossible. And that's what you're up against on most social media right now. And I want to share with you ways that you can actually be in a room of 20 or 30 people and find the person you're looking for. If you can do that, then social media can be a winner for you. And that's what I want to share with you. Here's the first one. For those who don't know it, it's called Answer the Public. Really clever site. You can put in a keyword here and you can find out exactly the questions that people are asking about, right? You will find out exactly what it is on any keyword you've got. And once you know what people are talking about, then you start talking their language and you can create content that solves that type of problem. So answer the public is one really good tip I want to give you. A second one is this. When you go into groups like in Facebook groups in particular, I'm not sure whether you're aware of that, but see the little magnifying glass there? Click that. I'm not going to go a live thing on it because we haven't got time. But if you click that magnifying glass on any group that you're in, then do a search in there. Now, you're not searching for members. You are searching for emotions. You are searching for words like frustration or loss of confidence or whatever it is that's pertinent to your area. This one here, for example, online coaches and consultants. I did a search in there maybe 1 or 2 days ago for disappointment. I just put the word disappointment, and up it came with all these posts and comments of people where the word disappointment was there. And that gave me an incredible amount of information about the type of content I need to create to get people's attention. And it also gave me a really good opportunity to find people who could be potential people to talk to, right? Think about that, because they are there sharing their guts and their problems to the world, and they're looking for answers. So that's a really good tip that works. Here's another one. It's called everypixel.com, because one of the values of social media is imaging. There's no doubt about that. And this one here, it's free, right? And it searches 50 leading stock agency images every time you put in a particular word. And once again, you put in a word that's an emotional word, because we're talking about conversational organic marketing that's based on emotions, right? So do a stock image search by emotions. Everypixel.com. Key point is this. You got to get personal. People crave for conversations, not for information, right? They've already got that much information. They're overloaded with the stuff. But what they want is conversation. What they want is some sort of intelligent engagement with you in a way that you can help them solve their problem. Here is a brilliant tool. And if you're not using it, I would strongly suggest you do it. It's called Video Ask, and you will find it at videoask.com. There's a free version and there's a paid version. Play with the free version. What this is about is it enables you to talk to people rather than do typing in messaging, right? You can actually talk to people on video and share with them your thoughts and feelings about some particular point, and then they are invited to reply back to you, and you give them the option. They can either reply back in a video or text or audio. But it's a brilliant way to build relationships, because what we're talking about, right, is organic marketing, which is emotional, relationship, conversational basis. So Video Ask, I would strongly advise you to get hold of it today and play with it. It is a brilliant tool, truly brilliant tool, okay? And no, I don't have any affiliate arrangements with them. I'm just wrapped up in it. I love it. And I've been using it. In fact, I used this for Sandy Johnson, okay? I sent her a message to let her see what it's all about. Now, how often should you post? I mean, how long's a piece of string? This is what I'm suggesting. Post regularly, but not too regularly. Do not try and post 3 and 4 and 5 times a day. Do not do that, because you're killing yourself in the algorithm when it comes to Facebook, okay? It's far better to post once a day or twice a day, but do it consistently rather than do it 5 times a day and then do nothing for 3 or 4 days, okay? So post regularly, but not too regularly. Be aware that the average shelf life of your post is 3 hours. Now, people will find your posts after 3 or 4 or 5 days if they go to your profile and go looking for it. But generally speaking, the shelf life is about 3 hours. That's the game you're playing with. That's the competition you're up against. So consistency is more important than frequency. And by the way, time of day also matters. For example, it's better to post in the evening after work or in the lunchtime period for people, for example, rather than in their work hours, 9 to 5, or in their commuting hours. Time of day matters. It really does impact on the reaction you're going to get as far as your posts are concerned, all right? You see, it's not about numbers. It's about quality relationships. It's about conversation, and it's about engagement. This is the key bit. 1 + 1 = 3. The point is this, that when it comes to social media, especially Facebook, right, it's not just engagement that's driving the algorithm. The thing that's driving the algorithm is the conversations. The conversations are the key bit, all right? And when Martha's talking about income producing activities, this is one for you. You need to have conversations that are going in the right direction, that are leading people to a point where they'll be wanting to come and speak with you. Which raises another point for me. Do not try to sell on social media. Build the relationships and the conversations, the engagement on social media, but then get them off social media in order to provide them with a solution to their problem. But I warn you, do not take them off social media too quickly. Take your time, build the relationship, build a know, like, and trust factor, okay? And earn the right to ask them. And I'll come back to that in a moment. The key point is this, do not rush them off social media in order to get a quick sale. If you do that, you're going to be perceived as someone who's not just a scammer, but someone who is really needy and someone that they don't want to do business with. So focus on quality relationships, focus on conversation, focus on engagement, and then earn the right to ask them to permission. May we speak? The keys to the kingdom, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to social media, and in particular organic marketing. 1, as I said before, you need to earn the right to ask. How do you earn the right to ask? By giving content that is relevant to your target audience. That the content, as I mentioned to you before, is conversational, it's emotional based, it's meaningful, it's impactful, and it's relevant. If you do that consistently, you will earn the right to ask, because people will notice you in the news feed and they'll think, wow, I wonder what Martha's on about there. I better go and check that out. So earn the right. Create memorable customer experiences. Now, a customer experience does not start when they pay for your offer. The customer experience starts when they first connect with you, right? If the connection on LinkedIn or on Instagram or on Facebook, wherever it may be, that's the start of their experience with you. And I can tell you, you need to be aware of making sure every step they take with you is memorable. And the way to make it memorable is to make sure that you are giving them value from your heart that is meaningful, impactful, and relevant, okay? And also have some fun while you're doing it. Customers get bored stupid otherwise. They enjoy laughing as well as you do, all right? And if you can help a problem with them and make them enjoy their day more, then that makes it even more memorable. So think of ways you can create memorable moments for every person you come across. If you do that, you are really positioning yourself as someone who's quite different. Think about this. If you do the right thing with your customer, they will lead you, okay? They will lead you to more like them, okay? That's what they will do. And that's the beautiful part of it. Because when customers are leading you to more people like them, guess what? You are not getting a referral. You are getting an introduction. And what does that mean? It means it's a powerful factor. These people, these customers have been so impressed with you, so blessed by the transformation you brought to them, that they want you to help their friends. And when they do that, their friends will definitely listen, rather than say to you, oh, look, why don't you contact Gail, okay? Just go, here's a Facebook profile, or here's an email for her. That is a referral. That is nowhere near as impactful as an introduction. And if you get your customers raving about you because of your personal service that you give to them, and they then introduce you to their friends, your chances of getting more business are significantly improved. By the way, one point, when you're doing work on social media, show them, don't shout. In other words, stop trying to impress people. Don't try to show them how good you are. Show them how you can solve their problem. They don't care whether you've got 50 years of experience, whether you've got 5 degrees, whatever it is. All they want to know is, can you solve their problem for them? And if you have earned the right to ask them about that, then show them, don't impress them, don't shout it at them, and don't vomit all over them with your information either, okay? Social media opens your business doors and it allows you to tell your story. Key point here, have a story ready. Make sure you can share your story in 1 or 2 minutes maximum. This is like the elevator pitch in a way you've heard about. I hate the word pitch, by the way. But what you need to be able to do is when somebody says to you, hey, what do you do? Okay? You need to be able to answer that question. But answer a question in a way that's of interest to them. That's the important thing. So it allows you to tell your story, but make sure you've got a story to tell. What others say about you is far more important than what you say about yourself. And you know that as well as I do. I mean, as they say, it's what people talk about you when you leave the room is where it's all in bed, okay? If you are getting the right reaction there, then you have done the right thing with your client, with your prospect, and with the people you're talking to. Personalized organic marketing, it takes effort, okay? Now, I'm not expecting you to look like that guy, right? It takes effort, but it's worth it. It really is worth it, right? What you need to do is to spend the time consistently to make your prospects and your customers heroes. Make them feel like heroes. And how do you make them feel like heroes? By over-delivering, by being personal, by sharing with them from your heart, by giving them transparency, showing them that you're vulnerable and believable and realistic and authentic. It takes effort, it does, okay? But it's worth it. Because in the end, you will not just get a customer, but you'll get a raving fan and an advocate as well. Obviously, this is the outcome you want, right? You want somebody to pick up the phone and get on Zoom with you or something, right? In order to do that, it's got to be based on personalized, genuine service. And that's what I've been on about there. Just a quick thing for you. Here's a simple site. I'm going to give you access to these. These are some images that I purchased and I'm going to give them to you that may help you with your social media posts. That's an example of one. There's another example of one. I'm going to give you the link to them in a moment, all right? And here is also a program I put together called Profitable Personalized Prospecting. Now, this is a paid program. I don't want to spend time promoting it, but you can have a look at it, and whether you want to buy it or not, that's your call. Have a look at that. If you want, this is a really clever, I shouldn't have said that because I did it. This is a really helpful thing, creating leads with Facebook content. If you want it, go to peterbeckenham.com/Facebook leads, right? peterbeckenham.com/Facebook leads. You will see a whole lot of content posts that I've created and what happened to them, what worked, what didn't work, and I'll give you specific examples of them and how to go about doing it. So peterbeckenham.com/Facebook leads. The second one was the PLR images that I purchased for you, peterbeckenham.com/images. If you go there, you'll get access to these images. And there are, I don't know, maybe 300 or 400 of them, or maybe I'm wrong, 200 or 300 of them. But these are high quality images, very high quality, based on marketing and social media and personal development, all right? And finally, there's a Profitable Personalized Prospect if you want to get access to that, peterbeckenham.com/PPP/program. If any of those things you want to use, good luck. I'm happy to help you do that, all right? There it is. Any questions? I'm going to stop sharing And I hope you found that of some help. Okay.
Feel free to unmute yourself, everyone, to ask any questions.
Peter, can you come to my house this weekend and we'll just talk for hours?
Gail, yeah. By the way, I love your posts. I really enjoy them. Okay? You are a very special lady. I could not cover everything in just that time frame, but I just want to give you a taste of some things that may help you improve what you're doing now. That's all. And because one of the biggest frustrations we've got is that you go onto Facebook and you thought, I've got to warm up the algorithm by going to all these things in the hope that these people will come back to my posts and do something on my post. This is just a waste of time, truly a waste of time. And it's so damn frustrating, okay? What you need to do instead is create posts in the first place that grab people's attention of your ideal client, okay? That's what you need to do. Any questions?
Hi, Peter. Do you have any advice on taking photos that captivate people rather than using stock images?
To me, the photo is inconsequential, okay? It's the text that you put on the photo that grabs people's attention, all right? The photo is fine, but what you should do if you can is to create, in particular with Facebook, curiosity. I normally use images from the site I just shared with you, okay? Or from a place called Pexels, Pexel.com, okay? They are high quality, copyright free images, but I look for images where there's space around them for me to put some text that I want to grab people's attention. Now, in that particular PDF I shared with you, which you can download, you'll find examples of that. And because to me, if I create a text that people think, what the heck does that mean? Then I've got you thinking, and that's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. So, Alison, a long-winded answer to your question. The images are fine, but the text is even more important. Neza, good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm so sorry I'm late. I had
That's
to go
okay.
Hi, Martha. Hi, everyone.
Hi. I actually just did an image that I used Bell to actually create some attention. This is what I did this morning.
Ah, I love it.
So this sort of thing, don't be afraid about it. It's not a perfect image. It's not in a good focus or anything, but that makes people stop when they're scrolling down and say, what the hell is that? That she look confused. So that's the reason why I actually did it. So don't start to be a bit more creative about your posts, like quality images, like what Peter said, headings. Your heading. There's a new worksheet that I just done up in the program that you guys can actually have a look about quality headlines, which is what Peter said, and also images that we actually put. There was one that was recently that I used Bell again about the homework one. Did everyone see that? My God, that catches everyone's attention. Okay, it's like people will stop and actually have a look, even if they don't comment and things like that. You don't know who are the silent listener. That's the main thing. Right. Any other questions, guys?
The one thing I wanted to make sure that you got through is that you need to serve people, but you got to be serving the right people. Okay, they've got to be your ideal client, and therefore you need to do some homework and do some research and use some of the resource I gave you today to find out who your ideal client is and what are the questions they're asking right now, and then you're in a position to answer the question by creating the content. Okay, if you then serve them first, then they will lead you and they will come to you. If you try and sell them first, they will run away from you. That's the other point I'm trying to make.
That's a very, very, very good point there. What are your tips? Like, I love the fact that that website can find the keywords to find out what question they're asking. Everyone should definitely go back to that and have a look. So what are is there any more tips about how to find our ideal clients?
You need to sit down and work out who in the heck do you want to serve, right? Who is it? What are the characteristics of the person? That's why I gave you the avatar thing. What are the characteristics? I mean, do you want to deal with males or females? Do you want to deal with both? Do you want to deal with people 40 and up or 40 or down? Do you want to deal in Australia only? Or do you want to deal in the United States only? Okay, I mean, you need to fine tune your ideal client so carefully that you might think, oh, yeah, but I'm missing everybody else. Well, you are, but if you do it that way, then you're not going to get anybody. I would much rather, for example, if I had 1,000 people come to my website and one person bought, compared to 10 people come to my website and 5 people buy, I take the second one. Much smaller number, much more focused, because they know who I am, because I've built a relationship with them, because they're in my ideal client set. All right. So as I said in one of the presentations, it's not a numbers game anymore, right? It's a matter of you building a relationship and having a conversation with them, having engagement with them, and earning the right to take them to the next step. If you do that correctly, then social media is a brilliant platform for you. And that's really the underlying message I'm trying to share with you today. Social media has been good to me, really good to me. And I'm not against paid advertising, by the way. One small point, I should add this. Do not use paid advertising, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube. Do not use paid advertising until you've proven you've got an organic advertising approach in the organic marketing that works. Then use the paid advertising to scale up what's working. Otherwise, you will waste a lot of money. So make sure you do that. And there's 1,001 people out there who can train you about that. And that's not the purpose of today anyway. So.
Any other questions about?
I'll give you some statistics if it's helpful.
Yeah.
These are the latest I can get hold of. And I don't know how recent they are, but they may be a month old. I don't know. But in terms of, I mentioned to you, time matters when you're posting. After work, the 63% of posts that are done after work get engagement, right? After work. Then first thing in the morning, before 8 o'clock, that's the second most popular time to get people to react to your posts. The third one is lunchtime. But that's a tricky thing, 1 to 2, 12 to 1, whatever it may be. And again, even within Australia, you've got different time zones. So, I mean, it's a challenge you've got there, right? But the key point is this. The worst thing is to try and get people to see what you've got during their working hours. They will do it because their darn phone's on, but they're not going to do it justice because they think they might get caught by the boss. Or they've got other things in their mind. So don't try and post it during that time. That's my point to you if you can, all right?
That is so true there. And I know that there is way that you can find out on Facebook what is your highest engagement hour is. There's a button somewhere that maybe I think Dawn Rose, like remember our Dawn, actually did speak about that before. So if you want to private message her later or you know what, I'll put a post or something like that in our group and tag her on it, like our super coaches group, and ask her about that algorithm thing. I know that there is a way, because Princess does it for me, which is my VA. She does it for me to check every single week where my engagement come in when the posts are actually seen. The one thing is that because that's something that I get confused as well, because my clients are absolutely everywhere. I have time zones issues everywhere. So it's tough for me that doesn't actually focus on a single market instead of a global market. So what she does for me is she checked the algorithm in my Facebook. There's a particular link for, I remember Dawn actually talked about it before, about how to check your engagement on Facebook. So you know approximately what time you can schedule them in, because there is scheduling program that you can use for your business page, your Facebook group, not on your personal page. That's the only thing it doesn't do. But it does Instagram, it does LinkedIn, it does your business page, it does your group.
I'll tell you another thing that works. I mentioned to you Video Ask. That is a brilliant tool. To have a play with it, you'll really enjoy it, okay? But another thing I do, I use this thing called Loom, LWM.com, which is probably pretty common to all of you, right? But I use Loom, but this is the way I do it. If I'm just connecting with Martha for the first time, and I've accepted a friend request from Martha, and I can see that she's an interesting potential, okay, I will then create a 1-minute Loom video on her personal profile, talking to Martha about a post she's created on her personal profile, okay? And then I will simply send her the link in Messenger. And when she gets the link in Messenger, the link shows up and she can see that this is her profile in Messenger, and that creates enough curiosity for her to think, I wonder what that's all about. So that's something that I've found helpful. And the other thing is this, at the end of every day, I spend around about 10 minutes maximum, 10 minutes, doing a voice message on Messenger, on Facebook Messenger, to those people who impress me most during the day. And I do it with maximum of a minute anyway, but I simply talk to them. I'll say, Carolyn, it was lovely to meet with you today, or I really enjoyed your post, or the comment you made, or whatever it was, it really got to me. I want to say thank you so very much, and I'm hoping that we get the chance to talk more and we get the chance to share something, whatever you want to say, right? But you do it with emotion, you do it with feeling, and you just let it go. And you can do 5 of those in 3 or 4 minutes, all right? But be consistent when you do it. That's my point. So Video Ask, Loom, voice messaging, as well as texting. Key thing about texting, be careful. If you text too long, people are not going to read it. And I am guilty of that as well. I've made the same mistake because I get so enthusiastic. I want to tell them all this stuff, right? And I'm the world's worst typer, so it takes me forever to do it, right? And then they don't even read the bloody thing, right? So I think, enough of that crap. Excuse the French, enough of that. I'm going to do this instead. So I do it in a voice message, and I can do the voice message in 30 seconds without any typing mistakes, and it's really easy. One last thing, do not fall for this trap, and you know this as well as I do. When you meet somebody for the first time and they impress you so much, whatever you do not ever send them a link, ever, right, in a message. You need to earn the right. I told you this before. If you want to talk to them, if I want to talk to Kelly or want to talk to Nessa, I would ask permission. May I send you my calendar link? Because perhaps we can help each other. But I leave the control and the decision to you, not me. This is really very important part of, it's not social media etiquette, it's survival on social media. That's how important it is. Anything else?
Peter, do you use Clubhouse?
No, because I'm not an Apple person. I'm an analoger. But I would love it. I've heard good reports about it, Carolyn. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether it's going to continue in terms of the current way it's working. But it's very popular with people right now. Very popular. And I'm not saying you shouldn't use it, okay? Because it does generate a lot of engagement. But I've heard that the actual client potential is not as good as they think.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. You get a lot of engagement and you think, wow, this is really good. But in the end, who knows? It's a new platform and it's an invitation only, so we'll see. And I can't comment anymore, Carolyn, because I'm not on there.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks.
I'm even thinking of buying an iPhone just to actually go onto Clubhouse because everyone's on it. But the thing is, they keep saying that they will have it on Android, but at the moment it's not. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm asking my brother, where's the kids like, broken iPhone that I can fix so I don't have to buy a new one just so I can get onto Clubhouse. That's what I'm asking around on it. So that's really good. Any other questions, guys, at all?
There's one thing you should do.
Mm.
Do not spread yourself too thin. I noticed before you talked about Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube, all these things. You can't possibly do them all. You can't do it. I mean, you drive yourself crazy, right? Just focus on one or two, okay? And I mean, really, there's enough power within LinkedIn and Facebook to give you everything you possibly want. Okay, I heard Martha refer to LinkedIn because of the professional type of coaching she's looking for, which is true. But remember, within the LinkedIn marketplace, people are very difficult to get to initially because they're protecting their reputation. Okay, on Facebook, they're a little bit more relaxed, right? But on LinkedIn, okay, if you look at their profile they don't want anyone to think badly of them because it might affect their next promotion opportunity, all this sort of rubbish, right? This is how I handle that type of person on LinkedIn. I will send a message to them and I'll simply say, Martha, I really am interested in talking to you, but I'm not trying to impress you and I don't want you to try and impress me, okay? If you are real about this situation and whatever else we're talking about, I'm happy to share some time with you. But please don't try to impress me anymore. I'm not interested. I'm that blunt with them. What's the point? I mean, there's hundreds of millions of them anyway, right? And why waste your time with people who are trying to impress you and will never become a client anyway? And by the way, I only do that for people who've driven me crazy, okay?
No, that is so true. Like I started with Facebook. That's where my focus are, and that is still my main focus on things. LinkedIn and Instagram is just because they can be scheduled post.
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
don't need to do anything. It's exactly the same image. And plus, don't forget, I got a VA to actually look after me. So that is absolutely amazing to help me to get through that. And that's the thing. I know a few of you actually haven't started your VA journey yet. So definitely that's what the VA team can actually do for you to help you to just save a little bit of time, definitely, and get you on the way. And Gail has been using Princess and she's absolutely impressed with it.
Great thing to hear. By the way, Unsplash is another good site for images. Unsplash. 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 Free, copyright free, great quality.
Excellent. That's good. That is so good. Excellent. I definitely got so much out of today on things that I actually really didn't know about. Like, group, we can actually ask like emotional tag. Like we often ask, what should we take? What should we actually comment? Like, how we can find the client. That will be the perfect way. If anyone asks me, how do I find the right people on the group? All you do, tag the things that you're looking for example, like what Peter fixed, frustration, or getting new clients, manifest, confidence. Type that in the group and find those people. If you need to add new people, those are the ones for you.
This is the key. Remember, conversational. Use the words that they are using, not the terms that you want in your business. Use the words that your ideal client will be using in terms of explaining and expressing the problems that they have. That's the key. And if you do that, then your searching will come up with some incredible things for you, not just in content, but also in potential customers. And it's something that very few people do. They do it all the wrong way. I'm hoping that helps you a bit.
I totally agree with you, Peter, because I was just talking to someone last week and I've been talking to all my coaches. Please don't use your coach's language because beside coaches, they don't understand what you're talking about. Use audience, like who you wanted to approach to, the language that they use. It's like the other day I have someone trying to explain to me her light work, which after 3 sentences of trying to explain what she does to me, I still do not understand it. And that day, out of the instant that my friend was sitting right opposite to me who does not know anything about coaching, is a normal woman that looking for some comfort because her son is playing up. So she was sitting in front of me. I turned around and actually showed them those 3 sentences. And she said, I do not know a single word that she just said. So don't try to use your own language. Use language that your client will understand. And just basic English. It doesn't have to be so complicated. I was talking to a guy recently, Peter. He's in Melbourne, and he said that he's social intelligence. So I said, what does that mean? I help people with confidence and things like that. Why don't you just say that? Why try to be smart? Oh, because it sounds smarter. Yeah, smarter doesn't help you to get clients. You try to coach people who are dumber than you. So why do you want to get clients that are same level as you? It doesn't make sense. So that is one key that I thank you, Peter, for bringing it up, because I often find that mistake in coaches, that they keep using their own language that no one understands them beside coaches.
And the other thing is this, people on social media are not there to connect with a brand. Unless you're a Tony Robbins or Apple or something. But none of us are in that level, right? They're not there to connect with a brand. They are there to connect with people, okay? And if they can't find you because you're hiding behind your brand or you're hiding behind your product, okay, they're never going to find you. So have the intestinal fortitude, which in Australia we say have the guts, right? Have the guts to put yourself out there, to be vulnerable, to be transparent, but also to be seen and share what you truly believe in. And in that way, then people will think, wow, this person's really worth listening to. And that's the message also you need to think about when it comes to social media.
Oh, that is so right. And like everyone, if you guys know that I have done this social experiment with me, no makeup on. One day I have a little bit of lipstick on, and then like rest of the day I have poor lighting, a little bit blurry on the camera. I tried it for 9 days. No one actually told me that I didn't look good. No one told me that my hair wasn't actually done properly. No one actually told me that my eyes was too small. So all those things that you believe of what people will pick on did not even happen. But what happened was I have so many private messages saying that, wow, you're very inspirational. Your message is right. That's just as what Peter said. It's your message. It's the word that will attract the people who come in, not how you dress or how you look. Some people will, like the younger bunch that are on Instagram worry about what they wear every single day. Yes, some people will, but that's not, like, it may be your ideal client. If you are, then you need to follow that trend. But those ones are not my ideal clients, so it doesn't matter to me.
And the other thing is this. How many other things have I got here? Sorry. Another thing is this. Sorry, beg your pardon. I don't know how to do it. Do not fall for the ego trap of, wow, I've got 100 comments on my post. Okay? That is not the issue. The money in social media is in the messaging, not in the post. If you are creating posts and getting lots of messages, lots of engagement, but no messaging, you are missing your audience. When I first opened social media, for example, Facebook, I don't go to the timeline. That's the last place I go to. I go to messages. Okay, that's where it's all about. And as I said before, if you've earned the right, then the messages you're going to get are valuable because you're serving people, you're helping them, and they're reaching out to you for help.
That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Anyone else got any question about social media, how to portray yourself, anything like that? Feel free to ask. This is your chance. I got Peter back twice already. So make sure that you make most of it. Yes, just unmute yourself.
Do you have any advice on storytelling at all?
We could do a whole session on, yeah, Alison, fancy being up this time. Yes, if you're going to tell a story, okay, I mean, this is part of my coaching. If you're going to tell a story, you've got to have 4 parts to it, all right? You have to have an emotional opening that gets people's attention, an emotional opening. I'm not going to have time to teach you this. Then you've got to have some content, right? So simple content, and the content is simply to give them a solution to a simple problem they could do immediately and get an instant response to it. Then you have a call to action, and the call to action is to ask them to take the next step with you, whatever it may be. Join your Facebook group, get on a call with you, whatever it may be, okay? And then the 4th step is the emotional close. In other words, you close the loop. Here's an example, Alison. Here's an emotional opening I have used, for example. Wow, I still remember the day 36 years, because I'm an oldie, right? I still remember the day 36 years ago when I left teaching to go into sales, okay? My father said, what in the heck are you doing, you stupid boy? Why would you want to do that? You are throwing away your career, you're throwing away university education to go into an area that you don't even have a salary, you're going to rely on commission, blah, 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 right? That was the emotional opening. Here was the closing thing. I did the emotional content, call to action, then the closing was this. I just want to let you know, my father, who was dead against me leaving the education department, could not wipe the smile off his face when 12 months after leaving, I sent him and my mum on a world trip, okay, at my expense. So selling was not as bad as he thought. That was closing the loop, all right? I didn't do justice to storytelling, but I haven't got time to do that. I mean, I spent 3 months teaching people how to do that thing. But storytelling is very essential, Alison, and it's an important part of your arsenal you should have.
So anyone wants to learn, I actually use that terms a lot. It's like, please starting to storytell, and it's a muscle memory that you have to bring in, starting to talk every single day like a story. It's like every single thing that comes to me now will turn into a story that I can use as a content or post. And that's what the 4 points that Peter said is absolutely amazing. You want to know more about it, feel free to contact Peter. I'm sure that he has a program that is in place that will help you to become the storyteller that you want to be.
That wasn't the purpose of today, sorry.
Yeah, I know, but still, that's what I want them to understand. Storytelling is so important.
Oh, it is critical. In fact, it will be your #1 marketing tool.
Yeah.
Your #1 marketing tool. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in today. And thank you, Peter. I know that you got another workshop to run to. Thank you again for giving us your time, your wisdom, and thank you for everyone here showing up as well. We really learn a lot. Every single time we have you, we learn so much from you. Thank you from the bottom of our heart.
Okay, thank you very much, Martha. All the best to everybody.